Hi everyone, welcome to Talks at Google. Today it is my pleasure to welcome The Lonely Island for Popstar.
Yes.
Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Could you tell us a little bit about the film?
Keeve, why don't you just tell them a little bit about the film?
Yeah, you do it.
Okay. It's a movie. It's a musical movie.
Yes.
It's a mockumentary.
Yes.
Accurate so far.
Yeah, all the popumentaries, like Katy Perry, Part of Me, or Bieber, Never Say Never.
Classics.
Or One Direction, This Is Us.
Yes.
Criteria.
I could
Love
keep
that one.
going.
Yes.
That's the genre it's in.
Okay.
Do you want to get deeper?
It's up to you.
We were looking for an idea for a movie that we could do our comedy songs inside of and make feel natural. So we were talking about maybe doing one of those popumentaries as the genre. Then Akiva had a general meeting inside Term with Judd Apatow. And Judd was like, I think it'd be really funny if you guys did one of those popumentaries. And he was like, I had the same idea. We were just talking about that. And Judd said, if you guys write it, then I'll produce it. So we started writing it.
2.5 years later, the movie.
Here we are.
Yeah.
You made it.
Yes.
Can I ask a question real quick? Does everyone here work at Google? Do you all work at this campus, like this building? Not everybody does.
Nope.
Got it. So Mountain View. Boston.
Woo,
Nice.
Represent.
Beantown. Righteous kill.
That's a thing we say.
We say
all
righteous
the time.
kill a lot.
You guys can spread it around if you want.
We have no means to distribute information here.
It's it just means right on, essentially.
I have a follow-up question. Do you guys have any nicknames for Google? Do you call it Big G or anything fun like that? Papa Goose?
Googs.
Papa Googs.
Guy Papa Googs. All right. Well,
Yeah.
it's great to be here.
Kind of like Papa
Googs.
Roach.
Yeah, it's very
But better.
All right.
Things we aspire to be like
Yeah.
Papa Roach.
And so how do you guys feel about the Hooli thing? Do you feel like fuck those guys or...
If you want to talk about mockumentary versus documentary, I feel like that is the most accurate documentary there is.
Okay.
That's just me though.
Fair enough.
So you think it's accurate?
I think it's pretty accurate.
When are those guys at Pied Piper going to get it together is what I want to know. It's like they're right there on the brink of greatness and they just can't get out of their own way.
Anyway, Popstar's great. Really good movie.
Yeah, it'll be on HBO eventually, maybe.
Speaking of Popstar, in terms of the process, so how did you guys sort of find a balance between writing the songs and the plot? Which was it, a chicken and the egg scenario, or?
It was a little bit of both. Once we decided that this was the kind of movie we were going to make, we started writing songs and brainstorming the script at the same time, pretty much. So we had a lot of ideas for songs that were kind of free of the story that we just thought were dumb and funny. And then we'd sort of shoehorn them into the plot. But then as we started writing and the story started taking shape, we would then pinpoint moments where we were like, oh, there should be this kind of a song for this character. Or we knew there was a montage sequence that was going to be about two characters getting to know each other. And maybe if they made a song together, it would make more sense there. Stuff like that. So kind of both.
Did you...
That's true.
Yeah, accurate.
I'll just fact check. When they say something, I'll fact check it.
You could Google it. When you guys were writing, did you take a different approach to writing the songs in this as opposed to when you're writing as properly The Lonely Island, musical style-wise?
Little of both, but a lot, yeah, because it was more specifically in character. But
Yeah, he could be ignorant in different ways than maybe we could as ourselves.
But I mean, similar to say the Dick in a Box dudes, there's an untrustworthy narrator thing happening where my character, especially in the movie, is a bit of a dumbass. So his perspective, like Keith was saying, was able to be inappropriate because you don't forgive him it, but you're able to laugh at it because you're like, well, they don't think that. The people writing it don't think
Some of both, though. Throw It on the Ground, you're obviously a character in the past. Mm-hmm. And then I'm on a Boat, we're ourselves, but not for any real reason.
Threw it on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan, I guess. I don't know the names. Thanks for fact checking.
I was like, fact checker just got fact checked.
Akiva and Jorma, how is it being both behind the camera and in front of the camera on this one?
It's exhausting.
Yeah. We wore so many hats. Let's talk about it. No, it was great. We've kind of developed, all three of us, a real style over the many, many years of working together. So we kind of have our shorthand is very short. And then we would just get to trade off who gets to say action, Like we would be like, okay, your turn. And then he'd be like, action. And then I'd be like, cut.
Rochambeau for it.
Yeah. We did a lot of Rochambeau.
It really took a lot of
stuff.
hours out of the day.
Yeah, and people would be like, you guys, and we were like, we're concentrating on something, shut up. And then 1, 2, 3, and then action.
Yeah.
So it was a mess. It was a mess.
It came out well, so it worked. Is this movie like a weird, healthy way for you guys to sort of live out a parallel universe where you get to get angry at each other and creatively pick a fight?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Seems like a healthy, expensive form of therapy.
It's the most expensive therapy there is, I guess, making a big movie. Keith's been describing it as the characters are us if we were not self-aware. So there's any roadblocks in their path that are challenging, they kind of make the wrong decision.
Healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas we're always really make the right decision. All three of us.
Always. Yeah.
You heard it here.
Oh, Keith, always?
Yeah, always, guys.
Yeah.
Fact checked.
Consensus.
It's important.
Are there like guys on the roof that don't do anything?
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there are. Yeah, there are.
Up there, like,
we can check.
lounging?
Yeah. Just
Nice.
getting a tan.
That's awesome.
Sweet.
You guys probably had your choice of guest actors and musicians for the film. Who were some of the people you were most excited to have, and was there anyone who was unfortunately unavailable for it?
We were all pretty excited that Nas, we got Nas the rapper. He used to be called Nasty Nas. Now he's just Nas. Nasir Jones.
He only changed it like 18 years ago. So
Yeah, I know, but I
thanks
just
for the
want,
update.
like, for the heads out there. We grew up listening to him, and so that was a really cool person to have on set, talking about us and how he was a fan of us growing up. It was great. And then Mariah Carey was another person I was really excited to have in the movie.
It wasn't us, it was our characters. So hold on a second. See,
Sorry.
we were acting and pretending, so he wasn't a fan of us. It was our.
No, I felt like he was deep down a fan of us as
We'll
the
talk about
Lonely
it
Island. Anyway. Who are you guys excited to have on set?
Ringo?
Ringo Starr was pretty crazy.
That was cool.
He was in this group called the Beatles.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a couple hits.
Yeah, they were a pretty cool boy band back in the day. Lots of cool people. A$AP Rocky, DJ Khaled.
Yeah. You guys are clearly ridiculously media savvy.
I thought you were just going to say ridiculous.
You guys, that too.
You could have just stopped there.
Why don't you go jump off the roof?
No, there's people up there.
Right. We don't disturb them.
Don't disturb her. I think you guys use social media and the use of the internet in the film really, really well. But was there ever a concern that things would become passé by the time the film actually came out?
Because of the editing process for this film, we were kind of adding to it while we were editing, so that kind of changed as we went. Honestly, a lot more Snapchat stuff got added, kind of as we went.
What would have happened if TMZ went down?
We would have had to make some cuts.
Would it be fair to say that a lot of your notoriety and success is because of the internet and how you guys sort of were discovered?
That would be fair.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. We always say we were incredibly fortunate that we got on SNL kind of right when streaming became actually possible for video. Forever we had a website, and it was a big deal that we had videos posted, or you'd have to submit your video to a site that would host it. And even when we were first getting it going in LA, we would tell agencies and producers and stuff we were meeting with, oh, we have a website, and they were like, cool, send us a VHS tape. Because it just didn't exist yet. So basically YouTube became a thing right around the time that we got on SNL and did Lazy Sunday. So it was very good timing for us.
When Lazy Sunday came out, at what point did you realize it was something special, and it sort of I feel like it changed the way that traditional TV produced for the internet. Suddenly it was cool to have web shorts, and it was cool to have extra content that isn't for broadcast necessarily.
Well, we sat down before we wrote it, and we were like, let's change the way.
And you did just that.
We were like, people don't say the word viral enough. Yeah?
Yeah, that is
Such
one
a
of the
negative
funniest parts.
connotation.
For so many years, we'll meet with people, and they're like, we want you guys to make us a viral video where blah, blah, blah. And we're like, you can't predict if it's going to, you can't just
Like so
say it's a viral
extremely
video."
popular.
We'd always
So
be like,
something
yeah,
that's
we'll make a video, and then maybe people will watch it.
I have a follow-up question
Yeah.
to this. Do you guys still have the It's-Its that are like organic, but then they made them for you, like the vanilla It's-It
They're-
ice cream?
Oh, yeah.
But they're like the ones that they made for Google?
There are some fancy It's like
That
Yes.
for you guys, the ones that they made just for Google?
Like that they made for Papa Goog.
they're not
No.
like
Do you
all
not
the
have them
time,
anymore?
but like
You know what I'm talking about? Some employees that were here, so they don't do that
There
anymore.
knows. No, discontinued.
you can get them
Okay,
through
well,
catering.
I'm glad I asked.
Those are the nasty Nas heads.
They still exist, but not the ones that have the Google logo and are made with different organic ingredients and stuff?
No.
No.
It was a big deal for us because we used to get at school. They had them at our junior high.
Yeah, you could
in
buy them
Berkeley.
in the cafeteria.
And we were like, whoa, special edition It.
I know. I was excited to come here for that, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Now we're just excited to see you guys. But at first it was the It's thing.
You can't have It's. This is an acceptable second.
Yeah, this is
Totally
Okay.
a joke as well.
That's great to know. It's speaking of sort of earlier in your career. It's been almost 10 years since Hot Rod came out.
Yeah,
that's
what
crazy,
were
yeah.
some of the lessons that you learned from that film that you applied going into this one?
Has it been 10? I'm just curious. No,
It's
not,
not quite,
nine,
not
nine
quite.
years.
It'll be
Almost.
next
Oh,
summer.
that's almost dead.
Next summer. What were some of the lessons?
Just believe in yourself. no
Yeah, it was
matter
a
what
lot of
happens. If you find something funny, that eventually a lot of people will tell you they also find it funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they are very different films. Obviously, like there's a ton of music in this one. There's less, motorcycles crashing as well. But it's a totally different format. So, but I don't know. I guess
You learn something from everything that you make.
Yeah.
From even a small internet video or whatever. So I don't know. Each thing presents its own
Yeah,
challenges.
even like a good snap. We learn like,
God,
oh man,
I learned so much from a great snap.
Yeah.
No.
What were some of the what were some of the perks of doing a longer form thing? Because you guys have done you've both done features before. You're on not sitcom, but like television, 30-minute
Call it a
format.
sitcom.
Sure, yeah.
It's like a good sitcom.
Yeah, it's a really good sitcom. Award-winning maybe.
Yeah, once.
But yeah, so what were some of the, sort of the challenges of adapting, and what were some of the perks? I assume like aside from budget, maybe.
A good part is that you get to plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like at SNL, we were just throwing them together so quickly that we would never get to even like location scout or like plan ahead. We would kind of go, it needs to be at an office, and then you would just show up with the camera crew and the actors and go, okay, I guess this is our office, and we would just kind of make it up on the fly. And on a movie, it was you get to take things a lot slower. Location scout, then you get to go back to location a few times before you actually shoot and build sets, and I don't know. By the time you're shooting, it's actually very calm because you have planned it, right?
Yeah, like one of the huge advantages is to have turnaround of just like that you can't like you have to give the actors 12 hours and the crew 12 hours so you can at least go home and sleep. Whereas at SNL, we would routinely make things and have an hour to sleep before we started editing something because it was going to be on air. So that was a big advantage.
Just getting to sleep is a huge difference.
Not just in film, just in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really important, you guys. And drink water, too.
Oh my God. Talk about a life hack.
Yeah, they don't let you have water at SNL.
Yeah.
Gotta save a buck or two somehow.
The rumors about Lorne Michaels are true. He seems nice. So they say imitation is like the sincerest form of flattery. Has there been anybody that you've sort of parodied or taken inspiration from that has turned around and revealed themselves to be a big fan?
Oh, what a nice version of that question.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that was gonna go.
It's like, here we go. We got to talk about how much we love Bieber again. Which we do. Who's somebody? Well, Nick Cage for me was a crazy one. I was doing him on SNL a lot on Weekend Update, and it basically came about that he was enjoying the impression and liked how like psychotic it was and got the joke that it wasn't literally of him. It was just I found a weird character and called it Nick Cage. And he came on and did it with me at Update. So we did like twin Nick Cages, which is what SNL does. And he was really, really nice. It was fun. And right after we did it, the crowd cheered really loud, and we sort of walked off the Update desk stage, and he turned around and he was like, "Pleasure doing business with you." And then just disappeared into the darkness. Didn't come to the party. No one saw him again after that moment. And I was just like, was he ever there?
I like picturing that he like threw a smoke bomb down and just disappeared.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I'm sure he's like hunting treasure or
He's out there doing something
motorcycles
good.
on
Good.
fire or
Something compelling to watch.
It's very important things.
Yes.
So, okay, well, speaking of encounters like that, you guys have clearly proven yourselves capable of entertaining yourselves at press junkets. What's been, aside from the Jimmy Fallon thing, what's been some of your favorite sort of fan press interactions?
Well, we went to Miami and went to the Latin Billboard Awards this year, which was rad. It was totally new. The whole show is in Spanish, and we speak un poquito.
Made for some awkward interviews.
Yeah,
for
but we
sure.
did like the whole red carpet, and I presented, and it wasn't like us entertaining ourselves, but that was certainly the coolest and most different experience we had this time doing press. It was really fun.
What was it like sort of living out, because you shot these huge concerts. What was it like sort of getting to live out that pop star fantasy?
We got to.
It was fun, right? Fun.
It was really fun.
Yeah, super
During
fun.
pre-production, Maroon 5 was nice enough to let us go to one of their arena shows, like a sold-out arena show, and like 2 minutes before they would go on stage, let us run up on stage, and it was like me and Jorm, just with mics, like,
She's like, "Hi guys, hi 20,000
Hey.
people."
and we were like, Andy's about to come out dressed like this guy. His name's Connor. Someone literally booed when I said that. Boo!
You're like, already?
Because they were like, they wanted him to be called Andy. I was like, so call him Connor, and he was like, boo. And then we had cameras there, and it was kind of just almost a camera test, but then a lot of the footage we actually put in. We just shot Andy in slow-mo for like 2 minutes, just running around acting like a superstar. And it kind of gave us also like a true image of what it should look like if it's a full arena, because it is. And the footage is like at the trailers and stuff. And I don't know, was that neat for you, Andy, to run out there and
It
slap
was
5?
super neat. It was 2 minutes of pure heaven.
There are a lot of sort of absurd moments within the film during the concerts, and like what was sort of the level of one-upsmanship? Because some things that happen to both your characters are I don't even know how to describe them.
Comedically awful.
Sure, yeah, let's go with that.
Comedically awful. That's the review of the movie.
I was gonna say like outrageous, but I guess comedically awful. I think that we were pleasantly surprised when we were screening the movie that a lot of some of the crazier jokes were getting the reaction that we had, because we obviously love sort of like more over the top kind of bits, and so that was pleasantly surprising. And there are some things that one incident that you're referring to that you're kindly not blowing the joke for, but yeah, is quite outrageous. And comedically
Andy had
awful.
Andy had to shave everything.
I shaved every inch of my body for this part. And
It's like a kind of De Niro Brando level commitment.
I would say that's a fair comparison.
And if you want to spread that around, you can.
Yeah.
Anybody could say that.
It doesn't matter who said it first, whether it was like our camp or your camp.
It's the internet. Nobody actually checks.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
Sources.
words. Just
There's
words.
no time to fact check for
Yeah.
real.
Would you
But
say-
yeah, I don't highly recommend shaving every part of your body. Your spouse doesn't like how it looks.
Were there ever any points where you guys were just like, this is too much, or was it just sort of, did you keep plussing all of the?
You just decide in editing.
Yeah, but no, we didn't pull back at all, really. We pulled back on one joke that is. There's quite a few DVD extras in this movie. There's about an hour and a half of extras. It's maybe more than the actual movie.
A full feature worth of
Yeah, it's a full
extras.
feature.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask this question just because it's been in the news a bunch, but there's talk of the junk in one of the shots. I hope I'm not ruining this for everyone.
Oh, that's what I thought you were talking about.
I'm talking about
earlier.
more of his scene earlier.
He's on earlier.
Yeah.
That's why I brought up the shit.
There's a wardrobe malfunction scene that she was referencing, but then there's also a limo scene with some junk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whose junk is that?
Well,
We are not going to say
Because some people have claimed that it's their junk.
we've heard that got out that it was Judd Apatow's. And we're not really.
we don't want to like
comment on
confirm or
that.
It's
deny
more.
that.
Yeah,
You'd have to talk
I
to
think
him
you
about
should
that.
ask him. Yeah, and
Ask him if he
I have a
wants to
feeling
say the
he'll-
truth that it is.
I have a feeling he'll say yes, but. But to be fair, though, we should go on record saying that he didn't want it to be nepotism or just because he's a producer. He had been sending us the audition pictures in our email for weeks, even before we had written the scene.
It was unclear, whether or not it
He
was
just
like.
planting the seed.
Yeah,
just be
the
like-
subject line would just be like better lighting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like
Might have just been a dick pic sitch.
yeah, he just wanted us to see it in different lighting, different scenarios, where he had different shirts, and then like what it would look like pressed on glass, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
And so he would just send us those, and then he said, just throw this in the mix, put it in, take my name off it, put it in with all the other pics you guys are going to be looking through, and he wanted to win the role naturally, based on talent and not based on just because he's a producer, and then he won the role.
He did. Yeah.
I think that shows a lot of artistic integrity.
Exactly what I'm
On
going
all of
for.
our
The great producer.
All of our parts,
He's
on
the-
us especially.
Yeah, definitely on our part too.
Yeah.
Glad it worked out. We'll take audience questions in a minute if people want to line up. All right, so you guys are from the Bay.
Hell's yells.
Correct.
Yeah, Berkeley. You
we're-
guys.
How about
Here.
them dubs? Ooh.
If you could go back in time and tell your Berkeley High selves one piece of advice, what would it be?
Don't change a thing.
Don't change anything. Your sense of humor at 12 will be your sense of humor at hecka old.
Or like that one time, like, you don't have to take quite that many shrooms.
You're not going to go with
It'll
don't ever
still be
shave?
fun without that extra few.
They'll kick in eventually.
Yeah. Just wait. It's coming.
Stay the course.
Yeah, stay the course.
Hi, I'm Courtney. It's actually my 21st birthday, and this is probably like the best present I could ever
Oh,
have.
happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday. Today?
Yeah.
All right.
You know you can drink now.
Yes.
That's so wild.
Yes. Though I told my parents that I'd probably be more. It'd be more likely that I'd pass out from meeting you guys than drinking today. But
Okay.
Do both.
so
But drink responsibly.
Hey,
Who's
that's
looking out for
super
Courtney
important.
tonight? Who's designated driver? You?
That's what
Huh?
driving cars are for.
Come on. Oh, yeah. You can just Uber it.
Yeah, just do that.
Let's
no,
get
we have
one
a
of the
self-driving
Google
car.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Google cars.
The Google cars.
so I love.
Those
you
are
guys.
safe, right? Unless there's a red light.
Those ones do it. Their ones just drive all over the place, right?
Do they?
Yeah.
Keeve, well, do you want to tell it about your
No,
Tesla?
I mean, I have the Tesla, and it will just run a red light.
It's only what's in front of it, so it's not like, hey,
Yeah.
check out the signage.
No, and you're just texting and doing whatever you
Yeah.
want because Barry's driving. That's what I call it.
But to be
Very.
fair, he's got a real lead foot.
Barry has a
Barry's-
bit of a lead foot.
Yeah, and he'll float through that sucker.
Anyway, sorry, what was your question?
So I love you guys, and I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Andy.
Thanks.
It's the one show that I always bug people to watch.
Awesome, thank you. We
And
need that.
so I was wondering, when is the rest of Lonely Island going to be on Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Ooh, hard-hitting question.
There was talk of Jorm being on last season, but he was so busy with this movie that it didn't work out. But I'm sure in the future he will. And Keeve doesn't really ever want to act. So,
But he could.
Now that I'm in this movie, guys,
Yeah.
I have caught the bug.
he's constantly doing like vocal exercises and like body movement stuff. Yeah.
Very into movement.
Very into movement. But yeah, hopefully.
And since Jake was kind of based on you in the beginning, how do you think Jake has kind of differed from you since he's kind of become his own person at this point?
Well, he's, aside from that, he's a cop. And you know I ain't no pig. I don't know. I mean, he's got like dysfunctional family stuff that he's working through, and he's much smarter than me as well.
He talks faster.
He talks way faster.
The main difference.
He's kind of like the Cumberbatch of the comedy world, I guess. I mean,
I have noticed you guys usually have the same haircut, though.
yeah, me and Jake.
Especially when you guys are shooting.
Yeah, Jake and I usually have the same haircut. What are you doing for your birthday tonight?
I don't really know yet. I'm mostly working here the rest
Right.
of the day.
So
You guys,
Guys,
take
let's
her
get it
out.
together.
just cover your ears for 1 second.
Is there a secret something? Cake?
Cover your ears. Is there a secret cake? Is it made of It's-It?
Thank you so much for answering my question.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Absolutely. Happy birthday.
First of all, thank you guys for Lazy Sunday. This is my personal opinion, but I think YouTube is what it is because of that video. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Not on behalf of
I think they probably
YouTube
would have
or
figured
Google.
it out, but yeah.
I've read that you guys met in junior high or camp. I'm not sure which one it is, or maybe both.
Junior high for us.
Can you tell us your meet cute? Like, do you remember how you guys met? Tell us some stories about that.
Well, yeah. Well, me and Andy were like chatting up some girls, and then we saw Jorm, and he was being bullied.
You guys don't laugh.
And we were like-
Bullying's like a real thing.
We were like, ladies, hold on, put it on ice for a second. They were cool. They chilled. And
took their sunglasses down.
And we went over. Yeah.
We were like, we got a problem here, fellas.
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously they backed down. And Jorm was like,
Obviously.
fellas, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Where are you guys gonna eat lunch?
Do you want to share Lunchables?
Yeah.
And then we all had It's together. And it was great.
So
We should probably mention we have been paid by It's-It to be here.
All right, we'll go with that.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi guys, thank you for the digital shorts. They're brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yorm, you've been on the set of Girls. Does Lena Dunham ever wear any clothes?
Not in one of the scenes that, like, one of our longest scenes. No, she was wearing just a mesh top the whole time. And I was maybe more impressive seeing her direct simultaneously and then act and readjust her lines. Like, so she's like rewriting, directing, and also being nude at the same time. And you're just like, she's incredible. She's really incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, but she wore clothes the rest of the time, though.
Hey guys, thanks for being here. I'm also a big fan of the digital shorts, and I was hoping you could talk a little bit about your writing process. Like, how do you go from like, we should write a song about banging each other's moms to actually deciding which ones to carry through? Are there any you wish you'd done? How do you go from like idea to a full-length video? Any you wish you hadn't done?
Right.
Plenty.
Yeah.
Most of them. Well, that one specifically, it was because it was Mother's Day.
Naturally.
It was the Mother's Day episode.
Trying
we
to
were
give a
like-
gift that kept on giving.
Yeah. It happens all kinds of ways. I mean, that was a rare case where it was actually motivated by something. Dick in a Box was the same. It was the Christmas episode. And then...
Specifically at SNL for those ones, I mean, we knew something had to be on TV that Saturday, and it would be Tuesday, and then a lot of times we'd stay up all night. And if we were really lucky, we would have come to it. But a lot of times we wouldn't.
Really lucky.
Then we'd stay up all night Wednesday, and we would then stay up all night Thursday until basically challenging ourselves to think of something better. And sometimes, like for instance, with Mother Lover, the idea was cracked on Tuesday, and we kept trying to make it better. And no, I guess on that one we did settle down.
The golden
we settled
rule
on that
is-
on Tuesday.
Yeah, the golden rule.
And then
the third one.
third one, we had the idea Tuesday, but didn't trust it, and kept trying to top it until eventually, like on Wednesday night.
And
we went,
Timberlake,
"All right, we gotta just
Timberlake kept saying, like,
He's like,
you guys,
"That's a
we
great
got
idea."
it. Like,
He's
come
like, that's a
on.
great idea. Let's just do that. And we were like, no, we got to be sure. He's like, no, do it. It's funny.
Yeah, but that's our basic
Yeah,
process.
and then once you say like, okay, that's the premise, then we put the beat that we're gonna record on a loop, and we just sit there with pads or on our computers and write as many joke ideas as possible, or like little pieces of verses, and like read them to each other out loud and go like, help me finish this line. I have this setup that I think is funny, but what's the punchline? What rhymes with this? And sort of cobble it all together.
yeah, then we then we do put it all together. Like, oh, who has the best first line? Oh, actually, your line would be good first, and then we should do this one of mine. Or so we kind of group write it at that point.
Then we just light a bunch of candles, and I just let the harmonies flow.
Very cool. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hi.
Hey.
Thanks again for being here. I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I also
Thank
think
you.
Yeah. I also think
Very cool.
I think my dad might be Captain Holt's like long lost twin, but
Nice.
we can chat about that later, I
Is he
guess.
that dry?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm also wondering, really my brother is wondering, when will there be Hot Rod 2?
Yeah. When? 1990 never?
When pigs fly. I mean, not like we'd be opposed to it, but it's not like that made a killing
think-
into box office.
Yeah.
I mean, thanks for the question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good answer.
Thanks for coming, guys. Could you tell us about how you were able to stick together through your whole career, particularly like through auditioning for SNL, and how you got them to take all three of you?
Just the money, right? We just
What?
want money.
Whoa. News to me.
No, we're.
I mean, we got very lucky at that moment. That's probably the closest we've ever come to having it be that we would have really been on different paths, was when we were getting considered by SNL, and they had met all three of us, but then Andy auditioned, and then there was a moment, basically,
It was about like
long story short,
days
there was
where
like
he
4
was
days
hired.
where we kind of knew he was hired, and we weren't sure if they were going to say, hey, we have one writing position, and it can be one of the two of you. There was no way for them to know. We turned in a writing packet, but it was the three of us together had written it, and they didn't know us well enough to be like, oh, we want that one or that one. So it would have been kind of arbitrary. So I think they knew they either had to hire both of us or none of us.
Yeah, but I mean, they didn't have to. And then we had a little pact that was if two guys got hired, the second guy, who was as a writer, would not take the job, so that the two of us could continue to work.
Because the worst would be for one guy to get left.
Yeah.
So we made that pact, but also we weren't going to like hold Andy back if he got hired from going on his own.
And you never did.
Hey guys,
Hi.
Hello.
huge fan. I actually took the day off to be an extra in the movie.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Have you
me and
seen
that
it?
guy
Did
in
you
the
make a
front.
cut?
Was that the
So
forum?
that's what my question is. Did I make the cut?
You're all over it.
What
Was it at the
what
forum?
Stuff at the forum?
So it was at the Inglewood
Yeah.
Yeah.
auditorium.
Yeah.
So I was in the Bin Laden one.
Uh-huh.
So I was like this up against the stage.
Yeah.
Recognize?
Definitely.
We'll go back to the footage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I was also holding the sign that says "I love Kid Contact."
Oh, yeah. That might be
yeah.
in.
Yeah.
That
That
might
part
be
did
in.
not get used. That,
No, that's not in.
no.
So that was the
No.
second part to the question. Is I know that we filmed like a lot of songs. Did all of them make it into the movie, or is there going to be just?
That one
Criterion
did. So
release.
your odds are better. And you guys go see the movie to support her in the
Yeah.
movie. Really important.
I'm expecting my check in the mail too.
Yes.
No, not all the songs.
Not all the songs are in the movie, but they are all on the soundtrack, which is like chock full of extras.
Kind of circling back to
yeah.
the earlier question.
Yeah.
We wrote many songs, then we whittled them down.
Yes.
How
for
many
the ones that
songs
we would
do you think
shoot.
we wrote?
I think we wrote like 40 songs, let's say.
Okay.
Or maybe 50 even.
E-
Then we
beautiful.
whittled it down to like our favorite 25, and then we probably shot 15
Yeah.
of them. And then of those 15, well, there's about 15 in the movie probably, in one way or another.
There's
but then the
snippets,
soundtrack has
yeah.
like 25.
But there's a song with Akon that we shot the whole thing and we loved, and it just didn't work plot wise, so that is not in the movie. Which
Yeah,
is
I would say
but it's
there's
on
like
the sound-
not in that
4
one.
songs that would
Okay.
be among the strongest songs that just couldn't fit story wise.
yeah.
When it comes down to cutting songs like that, do you
Yeah.
guys tend to agree, or is there ever sort of like discord amongst, and are there tiebreakers
there-
aside from Rochambeau?
There are strong discussions.
Yeah.
Strong discussions, but generally it's to do with what serves the story best. And there's something freeing about knowing that there would be a soundtrack where they would live, so we wouldn't have spent time on something that we really liked and know that it wouldn't just disappear.
Usually, if one of us has a problem with an idea, there is something slightly flawed about it, and then like us all discussing together and fixing whatever that problem is just makes it better at the end. So,
Aww.
thanks. Democracy rules, you guys.
We'll take our last 2 audience questions.
Okay. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Great to meet you. I'm Goldie.
Hi.
I've been a huge fan of yours since Awesome Town, which had the
Nice.
best song intro ever. Any plans for Awesome Town, the movie or the musical?
No, that's the other question we get a lot, which is, it's very nice that people like it. By the way, that song was completely ripped off from Fraggle Rock. We were just like, even the like clap clap kind of thing, but just changed enough so we wouldn't get sued. No, there's no immediate plans for Awesome Town.
No.
Our real lives are kind of Awesome Town. Like,
Oh,
fuck you, Keith.
that's fair.
Thanks for coming in today. Aside from It's It's, are you guys excited about anything else being back in the Bay Area?
Besides the Warriors, I was
probably
at
the big one.
I was at Game 7 with my dad. It was fucking awesome. Yeah, just coming home and seeing our families and smelling that good air.
We're Gordo Taqueria guys. Arnell's in Berkeley. You're talking about food, right? Like other food that we like?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thanks.
So, are you guys ever tempted to expand into other sort of mediums? Because if you did a Broadway play, you could theoretically be the first people to EGOT because of a song about a dick in a box.
That's true.
Is there a temptation there?
Well, who should we get to do the Timberlake part on Broadway? Because he'll never do it. Stamos. Done.
Great.
We'll make the call.
We look forward to it. I think my last question for you guys is, if you had to each bring one album with you to a deserted, lonely island, what would it be?
Ooh. It's so hard to say without sounding like a dick.
For me, just like a sound effects CD, just
Sound
like
effects CD.
like goofy sound effects, just to make me giggle,
Just
and
like a
just
lot of, like,
laugh,
fart
you know what I mean?
sounds and stuff?
Yeah, and like just city sounds, or like it'll be like, oh, the sound of like a door slamming.
That's actually kind of probably smart, you know what I mean? Because you'll probably miss
comforting
like,
sounds of the
civilization. Yeah.
There you go. That's what I was trying to say.
Just
Maybe like Blood on the Tracks.
I don't know, something, probably Yo-Yo Ma. Just best of.
We just outclassed you guys.
Just best of Yo-Yo Ma.
I like what I like.
Just the hits.
You know, the one that he does.
Just the ones that get me hyped.
So basically just like the Crouching Tiger soundtrack.
Well, I mean, that'd be one of them.
Just the number ones.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Thanks for
Popstar will
having
be
us.
in
You guys.
theaters. Everyone should go see
Thanks,
it.
guys. This was super fun.